Hi, everybody. We are live. As you can see, I am solo. Um, we were supposed to go last night, but we attempted to change some things around. And in the course of trying to change things around, um, Paul and Jason had some conflicts, and they still may join me yet tonight while we're live. I sent them the link and told them that we are doing the show tonight. And so let's just hope that they are going to come on. Um, so let's just get started. I mean, this show really is about the Ohio State preview, and I'm going to do the best I can without the other two. Okay. Good notes to know that both Seth Anderson and Leishon Williams are ready to play. They're addressing. They are going to Ohio State, and so that is going to be nice. And welcome, Hawkeyes 2017. Good to see you. So, alrighty. And Luke Lachey's dad. Did you guys know that he's the radio announcer? Are you guys hearing me okay? Can you hear me okay? All right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It just sounds like distorted and muffled today for some reason. So, guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. And so, did you guys know that Luke Lachey's dad is a radio announcer for the Ohio State? And I just found that interesting. He's got it. Okay, he's color man. Okay, so I found it interesting. He's doing color, and and he's gonna watch his son hopefully score a couple touchdowns, and he's got to comment on that. So that will be fun. All in good time. All right. And so BTN, sometime, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I haven't really looked. Sometime this week is supposed to do a special on the Lachey family. And CBS will do something, some kind of a clip for the game day. And so, as you guys know, Cade has played against Ohio State and beaten them, but he's done it with a better talented team around him. And so, Big Hawkeye Kelvin wants to discuss women's basketball. That's later, okay? That's going to be later. After we get the men's stuff, we'll talk women's basketball. Okay. Jason, I hope he joins us soon. We were going back and forth about what time and stuff and how late it was starting to get. And so Jason was going to still do the show. He's been sent the invite. I'm waiting for him to join us. And Paul still might join us. So I told them both that I had to start going live right away, that they could log in at any time during the show. And that I would love that. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what Ohio State really is. Okay, we know that they're a top 3 team. They're ranked number 3 this week, I believe, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys. Well, I'm going to give you some stats first. Okay, some stats that I found interesting. All right, so Kirk actually thinks that Ohio State is pretty deep. This is what he goes: deep, talented, veterans, physical, and good size. Yes, I would say that. KF has a 3-9 road record against, it should be 3-9 road record against top 10 teams. I didn't know if you guys were aware of that or not. Kirk is tied for second at 199 wins with Alonzo. You guys know him. Woody Hayes is at 205, so he's in first place. Kirk would need 7 more wins to get the record, so that means he needs a total of 10 wins this season. It's doable. It's very doable. after we get past Ohio State. I think we can be favored in every game. Okay. Um, I don't know if you guys knew this. KJ is the first since the 2012 since 2012 and Mark Wiseman to have 4 consecutive 100-yard games. So we haven't had a running back get 400 yards in a game um, and since 2012. Okay, here's something interesting stats. I know this is kind of boring at first, guys, but let me get through some of this stuff. And Iowa's rushing yardage is 250.3 yards a game, which is second in the Big Ten and 10th nationally. Um, Iowa has 7 turnovers, which is fifth in the Big Ten and 42nd nationally. We average 32 points, which is 53rd nationally. 397.8 yards a game, which is 65th nationally. So honestly, guys, just think about that. Look how far we've come in 1 year with the new offensive coordinator. Tim Lester's getting it done. Let's just hope that Kirk continues to let him go. We have time of possession. We're averaging 33 minutes and 10 seconds. That's fourth in the nation. I didn't realize that was that good. I really didn't. Let me pause real quick here. Paul is the glue. I'll let him know that if he doesn't get on here and see that for himself. Okay. Casey has a question for. What did I got the wrong one, huh? There we go. Casey has a question for Kelvin Fisher. I'm going to go back up because I don't want to get too far behind here. Okay. Alrighty. Go Hawks. Yep. I can hear you. Great. Good. Color man for USO. Kelvin Fisher, you asked me. Okay, so Kelvin, that's your turn to answer. Alrighty. Let's go down here. Old lineman from the early 80s, then great old lineman in the NFL, Chargers, etc. I'm assuming that was we're still talking about Lachey's dad. Kirk doesn't like color man. Color analyst. Okay. Okay. All right. My first game as a senior in high school was against Kepi and Reels for Durant. They lined up directly in front of me. Okay. It's going to be tough. Okay, hang on. All right. It's going to be tough for him to keep up against Gene from Boise State. I want him to beat him out, though. That guy had locked off like 240 some yards this week to pass him. The good news is KJ's number 1 in the Big Ten, if that makes you feel any better. And he's still second nationally, but yeah, All right. Alrighty. Okay. I picked Iowa 27-24 and Drew Stevens game-winning field goal. Okay. All right. Okay. Calvin did answer. Okay. Okay. Now moving on. Okay. All righty. So this week, I just heard Kirk on the radio a couple minutes ago talk about how they spent this off week, catching up on homework, getting a little time off, healing a little bit. I didn't hear anything about extra practices like we heard earlier. We heard that they were putting in some extra practice, extra workout, extra execution, working on executing and timing in routes like that. We heard that, but I didn't hear Kirk say any of that in his interview. And I think he said he gave the kids Friday and Saturday off last week. So it sounds like Kirk went on a recruiting trail to some high school games, and it sounds like he let the guys watch a bunch of football games on Saturday. So that's what I took. All right. Kirk also talked a little bit about, how right now they can play a guy for 4 games and still redshirt him. And Kirk wants it to go to, you got 5 years to play football. And so, and it sounds like it's getting closer from what they were talking about. Okay. Kirk says that they're in trouble if they get 60 passes. I don't know how that came up in the meeting yesterday. He was high on stuff. Okay, here's some more stuff we got. Okay, so where did I put that total thing? Yeah, guys, I'm trying to get my notes. They should be in line. Okay. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay. Hard. Okay, let's see. Let's go put this one. Hard for KF to make 60% win percentage when his portal use lack thereof and choices for QB. 2017 wants to know if he's a hater. Kelvin confirms that he thinks he's a hater. And Big Hawkeye will tell you, yes, he's of KF, yes, but of football, no. Does that bother you? Okay. So let's just continue on, guys. So our defense has allowed 62 rushing yards, no rushing TDs. Our defense is top 20 scoring defense and total defense. Not where we thought they would be. We thought they would be a little better. Okay, and like I said, they're 2-9. Oh, they're 2-9 in the KF era against Ohio State. So let's just talk a little bit about the people that they got. Quarterback Howard, okay? He's 72 of 105 attempts, okay, for 68.6%. He's thrown for 1,039 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Okay, rushing. Judah King is their top rusher with 390 yards. He carries for an 8.3 average, and he has 5 touchdowns. Henderson has 276 yards. He carries for 8.9 yards a carry, has 4 touchdowns, and James People has 141 yards, 4.4 yards a carry, and he has 2 touchdowns. There's a lot of other people that have carried the ball, but that's probably the most significant that we've got right now. And so, anyway, the receivers. Okay. Okay. All right. Receiving. They got a guy named Smith who's got 19 receptions for 364 yards. He has 5 touchdowns. And they got 2 other guys. One guy has 21 receptions for 362 yards and 2 touchdowns. And another guy has 219 yards for Cornell Tate is his name, it looks like, for 1 touchdown. The thing I find amazing there is if you take the 2 top receivers, together they have more yards than our quarterback has passing yards, which I think we'll come up on that a little bit later. I think our quarterback is in the 600 range somewhere. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay, here we are. We have a total of 101 rushing yards. Our opponents, we've given up only a total of 248 rushing yards, and passing we've only had 590 yards passing, versus we've given up 843 yards passing to our opponents. Considering some of those big plays against us earlier in the season, honestly, that doesn't seem like a lot, really. I mean, it could be, but it could be over 1,000 or something. That would be bad. Rushing, as we know, KJ has 82 carries for 685 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Jazz has 26 yards for 139 yards, 1 touchdown. Moulton has 36 carries for 124 yards, and no touchdowns. The thing that these are the top three. There is a whole list of people that have carried the ball this year, but their yards are insignificant, so I didn't list them. And so Cade is 64 attempts for 102 yards, 58 yards, 588 yards total is his. The other 2 yards belong to Sully. And then he has a 62.7% completion rate. So considering that, we're all looking for the big play from him, the big pass downfield. He's higher than any quarterback percentage wise that we've had for a while. Okay, so that's good news. Gill is our top receiver, which I'm sure you guys were aware of. He has 13 catches for 145 yards. And he has 1 touchdown. Luke Lachey has 12 catches for 97 yards. Estranga has 11 catches for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. Vander Zee has 7 catches for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. And KJ has 2 for 26 yards. No touchdowns as a receiver. Our Harris is our leading receiver. Our interceptor. And Higgins, they both have 2 each. And Schulte has 1. Like I said, we have 7 turnovers. We've created 7 turnovers total on the year. And so that's good news there. All right. Man, why doesn't my book go in order? I really work hard to keep this book in order, and it doesn't go that way. All right, now here we go. Over here, I think Calvin. Okay, I think I put this up before. That Casey's picking Iowa to win on a Drew Stevens game-winning field goal. You guys will be glad to know that today live, Jason ran live the Iowa-Ohio State game live through EA Sports. Iowa won in an overtime on a field goal. All right, so here's my keys to the game. Okay, these are just these are really things. We got to play a perfect game. We've got to play all 4 quarters. We got to play full 60-minute football. We got to play clean. No turnovers, no penalties. All right, we've got to force some turnovers though. And when Ohio State gets there down to the field in the red zone, we got to hold them to field goals. We can't have them scoring touchdowns. We can't trade touchdowns with them, or it's going to be a long game. We can't have us kicking field goals and them going for touchdowns. Okay, and we know they're capable of that. Will Howard he's very capable of it. He's very, as you can tell by his percentage, he's a pretty accurate thrower. He's only had 2 interceptions on the year. Okay. So, I don't know if time of possession is that we need that as much, but we do. We should win the time of possession. We should, this is where I think we try to keep the drives as long as we can. You guys remember the days before, where we'd have long patented drives, 8, 10, 12-minute drives that would result in a score every time. That's what we need. We need to play keep away from Ohio State. Okay, so and this would probably be a good game for dink and dunk and not worry about throwing the ball downfield. Maybe we do that a couple times to see if we can actually get one. Okay, but in all honesty, I just think this is the dink and dunk. What we need to do, take the yardage that they give us. Let's take it. Let's be patient. We must be very patient against these guys because you guys know they're going to come hard. They're going to stack the box. It's going to be hard for KJ to get his yards. But both Aquam Wadley, I think it was Aquam Wadley, he got 100 yards against Ohio State. And so it can be done. All right. Alrighty. Llama says, I bet KJ to have 2 touchdowns and Cade to throw for 1 TD and a parlay and Luke to have 1 touchdown. Wow. That's 4 touchdowns, dude. That's 4 touchdowns. God, if we could score that many, I would feel really good about it. All right. So Cade has to be accurate when he throws. He has to throw and get those throws to his people, and he can't be throwing it in the ground or over their head. He can't be throwing it to the other team. Okay, and he does do that, guys. I mean, he has a tendency to throw to the other team. But at the same time, his receivers and tight ends must catch the ball. You know, I mean, look at that. Go down, run your route, turn around, let the ball come to you, grab it, then turn and make your run. All right. Let's not be trying to make that big run before we have that ball secured. All right. We need to get that ball secured before we do that. And I saw a couple of that. And the biggest thing is these guys need to work on their tackling. As you guys know, last week against Minnesota, we had a couple of bad tackles, and honestly, we probably did in some of the other games against, especially Iowa State. I'm sure of it. Okay, so all right, and the defense needs to get off the field in a timely manner. They cannot be out there for 8-10 minutes at a crack while Ohio State moves the ball downfield. But I don't see Ohio State. They're not a long drawn out. They don't make drives long drawn out. They'll play with you for a little bit, dink and dunk here a little bit, get a couple runs, and then they'll pick their moment, and then they'll hit a big play to either get them in scoring position or to score. Okay, so that's what I've got, guys. I mean, honestly, if we'd have had the other 2 here, it would have taken longer to get through all that. And of course, we want to get Jason's perspective on it, and we want to get Paul's perspective on it, what they think, and everything. So I apologize for being solo. I know that a lot of you guys come here to see Paul and Jason, and I know that. And so I'm hoping to have some huge news that I can't talk about just yet. Huge news coming up, and I think it's news that could send this podcast and us to the big time, I hope. It should get us more subscribers. It should get us more views. So that's what I'm looking forward to. This isn't going to be a real long podcast tonight, guys, but you guys can help me out here. I'm going to go through the football picks that I'm picking this week. I want you guys to join in with me and put your picks down there. I want your picks for the Ohio State game and the score. If you guys could put those in the box there, I'd appreciate it. Okay. So I tried to pick some intriguing games. Okay. Kelvin says new quarterback commitment. What's his name again, Kelvin? I know the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I think he's from the class of 2026. He's got a really neat name. It's kind of a different name. Okay. All right. Big Calvin wants to know if Corey Barda is bringing you on as a partner. Yeah, here we go. Cash Herrera. Cash Herrera they believe is rumored. He's out of California. Is rumored to be maybe getting ready to commit to Iowa, that would be great news. That would be great news. And so, okay. All right. So we got Michigan State at Oregon, guys. Who do you guys like in that game? I took Oregon. I think until somebody proves me otherwise. I mean, Oregon's one of the top 3 teams in the league. So I took Oregon. Alrighty. Big Calvin, Big Hawkeye Calvin says Tim Lester led offense, Iowa 31, OSU 28. KF controlling what Tim calls offense, Iowa 9, Ohio State 34. Okay. So, all right, guys. All right. Okay. The next one is Purdue at Wisconsin. This is tricky. Purdue is having a really rough season already. And when you think about it, I saw today that he's one of six coaches already on the hot seat, and he's only in his second year. So, but Wisconsin does not look like they're playing the best ball either. But I am picking Wisconsin, as you guys are obviously are. All right, Rutgers at Nebraska. Now this was tricky. This was tricky. If this had been at Rutgers, I would pick Rutgers, but because it's at Nebraska, I'm going to pick Raiola and the Nebraska team to stick a loss to Rutgers. Then I kind of threw this one in. It doesn't mean much because I did this because of Boise State, Utah State at Boise State. I threw that in there because we're all kind of looking at the running back for Boise State to see what he's going to be doing from week to week. And so I thought, you guys are probably going to watch a little bit of that game and the running back anyway. So why not throw it in there? I picked Boise State as well. All right. Michigan at Washington. Washington hasn't showed me anything yet. So I am gonna pick Michigan in this game. But I could see this game going the other way just as easily at Washington. But honestly, I don't think Michigan is the team that they have been the last couple years. But I still think they're only a 2 or 3 loss team over the course of the season. Okay. Can't win big games when QB throws for 100 or less. Okay. Their QB way better. Yeah. That quarterback is really right now. I think that quarterback's about the only thing Washington has going for him. He threw for 300 yards last week. Although to me it was like a quiet 300 because I think he kind of dinked and dunked all game, but maybe I'm wrong. But you guys are all picking Washington in that game. I took Michigan, so I'm on record. USC at Minnesota. I don't know where Minnesota is yet. Thinking about how good they really are. I know that they came very close to having a chance to beat Michigan. USC looks. I don't know how good USC really is too because I don't think they played the way I thought they could. Michigan did get a win against them, but I did pick USC. All right, and we got Baylor at Iowa State, guys. I'm taking Iowa State in this. Of all the contenders for the Big 12. Iowa State's the only one without a loss. Kansas State was listed as a contender. Oklahoma State was listed as a contender. They each have losses. So Iowa State's looking more and more like they could win. You guys got Baylor, okay? Now make sure that if you're picking Baylor, you're picking them because you actually believe they'll win and not doing it because you're an Iowa State hater, right? Okay. Okay. Indiana at Northwestern. This one goes to Indiana. I didn't even have to think twice about this. I kind of thought Northwestern would be kind of like a 6-6 team this year, but I just don't see it right now. Missouri at Texas A&M. This one I had to think a little bit about, but I settled on Texas A&M on the Missouri-Texas A&M game. It's at Texas A&M. Okay. So you see what some of you guys think about Missouri and Texas A&M. Okay. By the way, since Paul and Jason didn't join me, I'm going to have to get them to send me their picks before tomorrow. I think Okay. Kelvin's got it as a toss up. Yeah, I semi agree with you, but I'm picking because Missouri's at home. Um, Big Hawkeye has Missouri. Fisher can't win when he needs to. Okay. All right. Okay. The last game on here, I'm not going to count it against Jason Paul's and I record, but is of course the Iowa game. Some of you guys have already picked your score, so but pick your Iowa Ohio State score. Yeah, I don't know. He's been burned so much. I wonder if he'd actually do that. All right. Okay. Calvin says Fisher ain't the coach, Big Hawkeye. All right. So I did pick Ohio State. Guys, I picked Ohio State to win 38-13. I don't want to. I want to be very wrong on that score. I felt like this is going to be similar to what the Michigan State game was, and I believe that was a similar type score, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm too far off, but I just felt like they're faster than us, they're deeper than us. They have a better quarterback than we do. Their wide receivers are better. They paid him $76 million to leave. Ohio State is the pick, reality, but love the Hawks. Iowa covers 19 points is too much. Still go with Missouri though. So I guess if you're a betting man and you want to bet the line, I guess you could go with taking Iowa and the points. That should get you a win, right? You know, some of the guys, some of you guys who gamble, I mean, might be able to win some money if you think that we can hang in with that close. After what happened to the last three teams with a pulse, as everybody says, what happened, I'm not convinced yet that we're there. I'm not convinced that we're there yet. I want to see how we do, and so maybe I'm a little skeptical in picking Ohio State, but if I were a betting money, I would definitely put Ohio State there. I want Iowa to win this game, and I think there is a path for them to win, but they have to play perfect. They're going to have to play perfect game. There's no turnovers. If they do have any fouls, I mean, God, they have to keep them to minimum and maybe like a couple of 5-yarders. Yeah. Ohio State is always loaded. Okay, Calvin. Big Hawkeye says prediction: Castro has a last season whiskey type night. Okay, all right. That would be great. Oh, that would be fantastic. Those OSU teams is so loaded. Yeah, they are loaded. They're always loaded. I don't know how they manage to do it year in, year out. It almost doesn't matter who coaches that team. If you can get the talent there and you come up with a game plan and get some decent coaching surrounding you, you can actually win some games. Okay. Safety's great. CBS, great defense, big line, big nose guard back this week. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice to know. Okay. All right. Calvin's on here, and he sent this to me earlier, and I thought it was kind of nice. I was listening to his interview on the YouTube, and I didn't hear him say this, so I missed it somewhere. He goes, Cade explains that he only throws without laces on shotgun catch, and quick immediate throws. Because some of you guys noticed a couple of weeks ago that he was throwing. He wasn't throwing with the laces. He wasn't using the laces to throw the ball, and you guys kind of wondered about that. And you also kind of wondered if they were advertising his pass because he would lick his fingers every time he came up under center. And so I was kind of figuring out, I guess somebody else saw that as well as some of the fans. Some of the media must have saw that and asked him about it. Um, there is a lot of, I put a lot of videos up on my page talking Iowa Hawkeyes sports on my Facebook page. You guys can watch a lot of videos. You can watch a lot of the coach. There's a couple of, Kirk, and then there's Barnett had some things to say. You can watch that about the O line. You can see what the some of the players had to say today, yesterday, and also up there is I got video of Jan Jensen and Lucy Olson and Hannah Stokey at their women's basketball today. I mean, I got plenty of time, and I ran through my Ohio State stuff so fast that if anybody really wants to talk a little bit of women's basketball, we certainly can. You hear me, big Hawkeye buddy? Okay. Um, okay, as you guys know, Sydney O'Folter is out until early November. Now, some of the headlines are saying she had surgery on her knee. She had a knee scope. That's not surgery, that's a procedure. And I can promise you, she probably walked out. And she probably walked out of the surgery room, procedure room. I know I did. I mean, I actually used I think I used crutches at first, but it didn't take me but a day to get walking again after that. And it took me about 5 weeks to completely heal up and be normal. But at the end of that 5 weeks, I went in and did the other knee, but that was a full total knee replacement. So I went from working on getting one knee healed in 5 weeks to being down for about 3 or 4 months with the other knee before I could actually start doing some things without the help of a walker, crutches, cane. It took a while, and so, but yeah, for those of you on there who care, who do you guys see as the five starters? It sounds like the two new recruits out of Wisconsin are just kicking butt in practice right now and are making a name for themselves. And I imagine that Ava Hayden is at center. They were saying that she's Big Ten ready and ready to go, and so I imagine that Stokey will see a lot of four when Ava's in the game, and Ava will be the five. I got to guess it. Uh, yeah. So yeah, and you guys know that they sold out again. Season tickets are completely sold out again, and so all I saw is today is I saw the Jan and the girls sitting at the desk talking to the host. But I believe they also sat in front of the Big Ten cameras and and talked. And so I didn't get any of that film. I don't think. You know. Yeah. You know who I kind of you guys know about Jada Gamfi? How do you say her name? Gamfi. She has that podcast called Fresh Hawks or Fresh Talk Hawks. Um, she is really funny, and I will tell you, she brought on that Callie Levine on her podcast. You got to go see that. Callie Levine fits right in with being a Hawkeye. She was so funny. I was rolling around laughing so hard. Um, and so, but yeah, I was rolling around so hard on that, laughing. But she has some great interviews. She had Kate Martin, who was, remember when Kate Martin was back for the Olympic break? She interviewed her in a 2-part episode. Kylie's in this week's episode. Feuerbach in this week's episode. I'm trying to remember some of the others that were really, really good. Hannah was in the very first episode because I guess they're best friends. But Hannah is kind of shy and she didn't deliver as well as I would like her have in that thing. But you guys have to go there and search for go look it under something tacos, Mama Tacos or something. It's under a brand, and then you can find Sydney, not Sydney, uh, Jada's Gampify. You can look for her podcast, and you guys will. It's really a breath of fresh air because she is so funny, and they actually do TikToks after they're done. They do TikToks and post them to TikTok. Oh, she had Lucy Olson on there too, and so. But yeah, I would imagine that if Falter's the leader of the team, I can't really see Hannah being the leader of the team. I mean, I can see her helping out the newbies and doing what she can do to help. But as far as being a vocal leader and getting people in the right places, like Kate Martin used to be and stuff like that, I'll Falter's that person. I think the best thing that happened to Sydney was Molly getting hurt last year. Okay. The men have an exhibition game in the Quad Cities versus Washington State. Yeah. Guys, you guys are so lucky that live in the Quad City area. What an opportunity to see the team play, the men's team. And I know that Big Hawkeye talked about the men's team will turn some heads this season. I mean, they've got a lot of knowns on there, and I think the men's team was kind of picked anywhere from I've seen everywhere from 7th to 16th. I have a new Lindy's preseason basketball magazine. They're the ones that picked Iowa 16th. Regular season, not exhibition. That's right, Calvin. You're right. That's not an exhibition game. That is a regular season game. They got neutral courts. They go into South Dakota to play a neutral site game, I believe, against Utah. And they're going to go to Kansas City to play. Help me out, guys. Who are we going to Kansas City to play them in? I can't remember. All right. I can look it up. Okay. I'm looking it up right now, Calvin. We'll find out. All right. We played Texas A&M Commerce. I have no idea what a Texas A&M Commerce is. Should be an easy win going away. Southern in Iowa City. We play South Dakota in Iowa City. We play Washington State in Moline. We play Ryder in Iowa City. And you're right, Calvin. It is Utah State and Kansas City. We play USC Upstate in Iowa City. And then we have Northwestern as one of our early Big Ten games in Iowa City. And then our second early Big Ten game is Michigan. And then we play at home against Iowa State. You guys seen their preseason rank is like 6th? They're getting some love, guys. They're getting some love. Okay. New Orleans. We play New Orleans in Iowa City. And then Utah and Sioux Falls, New Hampshire in Iowa City, and then it's just straight Big Ten after that, guys. This is nice. We play UCLA in California. Maybe I'll get to see that game as well. So I'm going to be back in Iowa City, and I want to explain it all to you guys. Not Iowa City, but I'm going to be back in Iowa starting Monday, this next week. I'm not sure how the podcast is going to work yet. I'm hoping Paul and Jason can do it. I probably won't be available because where I'm going to be staying, both are hardwired internet and wireless internet. Neither one of them are fast enough to do this. I did an experiment once and tried it in the middle of the day, and it didn't work. It's way too slow. and so I need a higher speeds in order to do that. So I think the last couple times I was in Iowa, I went to Hy-Vee in Marshalltown and did the podcast from there. And I did one from a Waterloo motel from there. And I did one from a hotel in Des Moines. So I might be able to pull it off, but Sunday for sure, guys. And then Tuesday's at my normal day for this, and we're gonna get back on schedule. And I'm going to try my hardest to be on next week. But if not, I'm working on a plan to get Jason and Paul on there, and another person who has actually he has access to my StreamYard, and I've asked him if I can't can he bring it up and let Jason and Paul go for it and get them on there. He can get them on there. So um, we'll see how all that goes next week. But I will be in Iowa. We were going to go to the Washington game. I even had a chance to get some decently priced tickets at $63 a piece. Um, but but my grandson said he preferred to go to West Des Moines to a bar that we went to last year and watch it there. And so we're going to go to the bar and watch it there. And he also has to work. I mean, he's 22, but he has to work, and I think his game is at 11, and he'll probably go to work. He's a trainer. If you guys actually live in the West Des Moines, Iowa area, anywhere in that area, he's a trainer and could use more people to train if you're thinking about working out on weights and getting your body in a different kind of shape. Go see him at Crunch Fitness in Urbandale. Okay, do it in Kelvin's room at KF's house. Right on. KF, can I come to your house? What? Because you won't be there. Your family will be at the game. Can I just borrow your house? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I could have him. Guys, I'm also working on a couple of guests. I'm trying to get them to say yes. They're former Hawkeyes, and I think it would be kind of cool to get them on here. And so I hope to have that announcement pretty soon. And so big things are coming for us. The big things are coming. Hopefully things are going to change and change for the better. A better quality podcast. Get some graphics. I have a new logo, but it's not officially been approved yet, and so I'm waiting for approval on that one. And once I get approval, I'll start using it. And so, yeah, big things are coming. We hope everything. But yeah, it's exciting, guys. It's going to be an exciting time. I'm hoping this will blow up. But right now, how about you guys? If you're on right now, hit the like button while you're on right now. Help that algorithm. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe right now. I think most of the people that I'm talking to on here have subscribed, and so please subscribe, and I'd appreciate that. Llama said something about DJK and Wadley, Hawkeyes. DJK and Hawkeyes. Huh? Did you mean Wadley? And why are we talking about those guys? Anywho. Okay. Guys, this might be a good place to leave it. But yeah, make sure that you, for those of you not watching live, if you made it this far, make sure you're subscribing, liking, comment. And you guys who are watching live that are already done that, please share it. Share this with your friends. I want this to blow up, and I think I'm slow. I think we're going to get to a point where this is going to blow up real fast, and I'm hoping to be able to do that real quick. I don't have any official word yet on how that's going to work and everything, but yeah, I'm hoping that this will blow up in a hurry. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Two Hawks that guys, let me ask you a question for those that are still on here. Wadley and DJK. Are you guys still fans of theirs? Still happy with them, even though they both tried to take down the program? You know, tell me what you think. I honestly curious what you think. Yeah, Kelvin says no. I'm not surprised because they did try to take down the program. I mean, after everything Iowa did for those guys, to turn their back on Iowa the way they did, you know, they had when they were here. Um, those were great Hawks. They both had great careers here. One tarnished it, I believe, with drug use at the end of his career, and the other one tarnished his career by trying to sue um, University of Iowa football and Brian for racist comments. Okay. So yeah, I think Big Hawkeye. I think I'm going to leave it right there. Um, we want to talk football going forward. Let's not talk about the past racist events on here. Uh, yeah. All right, guys. I think it's a good place to leave that before we get too much going here. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stuck it out this long. I know that there's other podcasts running tonight that you could have been at, and maybe you went to them anyway. But anyway, thank you for watching.